Congratulations, we're moving to our last speaking. Speaking number 6. Let's discuss what to expect on speaking number 6. So it's also an integrated speaking with just listening and speaking. We're going to prepare for 20 seconds and then speak for 60 seconds. So at first we'll have an academic lecture. So it's now not a student discussion, it's an academic lecture. And we're going to listen to it for 2 or 3 minutes. After that, we'll have 20 seconds to review our notes and plan our response. There's not going to be your opinion, it's just a summary of the academic lecture that you heard. Then you're going to speak for 60 seconds and summarize what you just heard. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be a photo of the professor and he's gonna tell you something, some lecture on some topic. And then you're going to see a question using the information in the lecture, explain something. Explain the free atmospheric phenomena that the lecture discusses. So the difficulty here is that the lecture is going to be pretty hardcore. So the lecture can be pretty complicated. It is devoted to something scientific, so it's not an easy one. It's a difficult lecture. So sometimes you might be a little bit frightened by how difficult it is, but it doesn't mean that you have to say every single thing from the lecture. You just need to pay attention to the key points and write them down. Of course, you should try to write down as much as you can, but then if the lecture becomes too difficult, it's okay if you miss out some of the details, some of the difficult details. It's just very important that you write down and then summarize the key points of the lecture. Because of course the lecture is going to be pretty difficult and pretty long. It's 2, 3, sometimes even 4 minutes. And you only have 1 minute to summarize it. So you don't have to say every single thing from the lecture. But pay attention to all the key points. For example, sometimes the professor will make a pause. And we know that the professor, secretly the speaker who is imagining that he is a professor, he is reading a script. So when the professor or the speaker is making a pause, it means that there is going to be a new paragraph. And the paragraph is always starting with the topic idea. So pay attention to the pauses because they suggest that now there's going to be some other key information. So pay attention to the key information and write it down. If you know that there is going to be a key information because the professor just made a big pause, and then you're really not sure about that key information, what it was, write down at least how it sounded like what it sounded like, how you heard it, even if you don't really get it. And then once you're speaking, try to pronounce it because you're going to be evaluated by how much of the key information you said. You're not going to be evaluated by how many details you said, if you said everything or not. It's not the task, but you're going to be evaluated for did you present the key information. If here the question is explain the free atmospheric phenomena, then you have to make sure that you named all the free phenomena. That was the key information, free phenomena. So as long as you described all the key information, you're fine. So don't be afraid if the lecture seems too difficult. You don't have to summarize everything. You don't have to say every single detail. You just need to summarize the key information. Thanks for watching.